We always developed for customers and their pains or their needs. Of course, with technology always comes a big risk. The red line for me is always when it harms people. The data could be manipulated, and you see that also sometimes ChatGPT lies. So there are a lot of risks, but there's also a lot of potential. We have like more than 50 projects in Switzerland and in the German and Austria region. Andersen helped us a lot to be able to have those developers to develop these features.
Hello, my name is Valentin, and today we are at Andersen channel. We would make an awesome interview with Björn, Head of Development at Eliona. Björn, now you're a seasoned expert in smart building technology, but what sparked your interest in it? A sci-fi movie showing incredible urban environment or a fiction book in your childhood? Tell us a bit more about your professional path.
Valentin, it was much more simpler than that. So when I was a child, I used to play a lot of video games. And I started with like Star Wars and read also books like Dune. And I had this passion for those kind of games. And so I thought maybe I should later study in computer science, because I thought, hey, I can make my own video games and that would be really good. But when I then studied computer science, I saw that you only have mathematics, statistics and so on, and I had nothing to do with video games and not a lot of programming. So that was where I had my passion in these video games.
Cool, interesting. Thank you. That's truly exciting. Okay, let's talk about your product. As head of development and product owner at Eliona, could you tell us a bit more about this smart building assistant? What are the key features and benefits?
We started, I think, like 8 or 9 years ago with developing the smart building assistant, not because we wanted to build a new platform, but we had customers that wanted those features, that wanted those pains addressed with the software, and they didn't find the software. And so we built it up. And more features we got into over the years, and built up a top layer or top level management system to collect all the data from different kind of devices in a building, from OT, IT, IoT, from the building management system and so on, to link that data and in the end to optimize something. And so it was a long way to build that, and we have like more than 50 projects now with the platform, also really, really tough projects and big projects in Switzerland, like the Children's Hospital, the most modern children's hospital in the world, and for big banks, big pharma companies and insurance companies, yeah.
I'm also curious about sustainability. Sustainability everywhere right now. It is one of the major priorities nowadays, definitely relevant for building industry as well. Forests are being cut down to clear land for construction sites, buildings have water supply systems and so on. You simply cannot build a house without affecting nature in one way or another. How do products like Eliona make the building process more sustainable?
That's a really good point. So maybe you know, in Europe, every company that has more than 20 millions in earnings and has more than 250 employees need to do this ESG reporting, this environmental, social governance reporting. And it's really important that they have data to do that reporting. And today they do a lot of manual reporting and they don't have like validated data. So they use a lot of Excel lists and then bring it to the ESG reporting tool. With such platforms like Eliona, you're enabled to have live data collection from meters, from smart meters, from energy meters, water meters. As I told you, with Hilo Digital Hub, we also collect waste data, which is a part of the ESG reporting. And so if you have then this live data in the platform, this validated data, and you can bring it to this ESG reporting, you have exactly the figures and facts about your CO2 consumption and everything. And now, when you have the data, you can bring some optimization into the system so that you're enabled to save CO2, so this emission to zero. And that's exactly where those innovation and smart building platforms, smart infrastructure platforms can help you to reduce and to be better for the sustainability of the country. Yeah.
AI is everywhere. So what is the role of artificial intelligence and machine learning in smart buildings? Are there any risks to using these technologies?
I talk a little bit about the role. So, for example, we use machine learning and the Snarrimax algorithm to make forecasts for our customers, maybe for the heating, maybe for the ventilation. Does it run smoothly? Does it not run smoothly? And so on. And so we need this kind of artificial intelligence. Also, as I told you, we see that the people or the building users want to integrate with the building in a more natural way. And these large language models like ChatGPT are exactly that, what they want, to integrate with the building in a more natural way. So today, you need to build your dashboards with your KPIs. You need to build your analytics and your reports, everything, so that you have your KPIs, that you see, okay, the building performs well. But if you would have like a large language model trained with the data of the buildings, then you could ask in a natural way only questions, and you don't need to build up these dashboards. So for example, which room is occupied when, and when could the facility management clean the room because it's mostly not occupied? And then ChatGPT or this large language model would say, yeah, Fridays between 10 and 12 was never occupied, so then you can clean. So it's easier. It's much more convenient way or natural way to talk to the infrastructure. And so I think it plays a really, really huge role. And if you look at ChatGPT, for example, we use it every day in our life. It's not long ago that it was established. And look at 5 or 10 years more, what would be possible with it? Also in the building management systems with optimization, data collection, and so on. And of course, with technology always comes a big risk. The data could be manipulated, and you see that also sometimes ChatGPT lies often. And imagine you would control something in the building and ChatGPT decides to do it another way, and it would harm the infrastructure, the OT security. So there will be a long way to make it safe, maybe to give it access to everything. So there are a lot of risks, but there's also a lot of potential. And I'm like a technology nerd. For me, it's always the potential I see, the good things, huh? So it's like the same with this atom fusion. So you see, it gives us a lot of energy, but can build up a bomb. So I would be the guy who say it's really good because it gives us a lot of energy.
Okay, you know, it's very popular right now. I see a lot of upcoming projects, especially in oil and gas industry, with these digital walls. Yeah. When it's a huge wall, yeah, in the room, and management they're sitting, yeah, and make a decision based on information, yeah, what they see on the wall. And it's very important to put information in direct angle to you to understand this information clear and to make a decision. So we have such a lot of projects right now, especially, as I said, in gas and oil industry. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can use the same data always for different kind of stakeholders. So, you know, when you bring like a little IoT sensor under a desk to see if it's occupied or not, you can use that to give the employees the information. Can I book that desk or can't I book because it's already occupied? But you can always also give the facility management this information. This desk was booked like for 3 hours, I need to clean it. And that's really nice because you see the data you collect could be used for different stakeholders. And in the early days or years before, you couldn't do that because you have this A technology, I call it. You have this A, and on the top it's a building management system, and it was often a silo, and you couldn't use the data to give it to other systems. Now we have often this X technology where like a smart building platform is in the middle and you can give the data via REST APIs open to every other system, to an ERP system, to a computer-aided facility management system, to a Power BI with Microsoft, to a ESG reporting system. And that makes so much easier when you could democratize the data for different stakeholders, different users, different systems.
Is artificial intelligence already used to improve the quality of life in smart building? First of all, I'm interested in processing IoT data to get insights into individual living patterns.
Yeah, we do that with machine learning. So for machine learning, you need a lot of data. And what we do is, we are more than 25 years experienced in this building automation technology, and we have a lot of data from heating system, ventilation system, and so on. And the data is mostly really unstructured. It's like in a big data lake. And what we did the last year was we structured the data to bring it in a data warehouse. And now we can train the machine learning model with this structured data to get more benefits about it. So does this heating system works good or don't work good, and so on. And there is artificial intelligence, machine learning bringing a lot of benefit at the moment to those buildings. Also, we have a partner, it's Double, who do optimization of HVAC systems, and they do the same. So we send them data a lot, and they have a very clever and intelligent platform. They look at the data, they optimize it, and send it back, so to control the system once again in an optimized way. And so that plays a role in our life also now. But yeah, for many projects, it's like really futuristic. Because many projects also in Switzerland, they are not so far and not so driven with machine learning and artificial intelligence. They are mainly about collecting data, collecting data they never had before. So for example, they don't have access to their energy meters in the building management system. They don't see how much energy flows. There's some guy who goes there, check the energy meeting, writes an Excel list, and then bring it to the management. And we do that projects that we add little IoT sensors on that energy meters and collect the data in real time and bring it live into the system so that they have real-time values. Because only when they have real-time values, they have this full data transparency to make decisions. Before they didn't have the data, and they make decisions from the stomach or maybe from old data. And now they have the data transparency, and now they can decide on real data. And that is a really big benefit in most projects. So you see, artificial intelligence, machine learning, it's a good thing. We do that, but it's really futuristic. So we have but a lot of projects where we do the basics.
Let's take a break. You are watching Andersen R&D channel, where we talk to people shaping the future. Our company, Andersen, collaborates with leading global brands and takes part in exciting projects across the globe. Have you heard of NEOM or the Red Sea project? These initiatives have gained worldwide recognition, and Andersen is seeking to participate in projects like this. Recently, I traveled to Saudi Arabia as part of our team to build new partnerships and participate in one of the country's groundbreaking urban planning projects. Together with our partners, we discussed how we could help bring this ambitious vision to life. We are looking forward to a productive collaboration. Follow us on Andersen R&D channel for further updates. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
Many people are still worried about privacy and their data, and think that their sensitive information might be leaked. So what would you say to those who are still worried about smart homes for this reason? Let me ask this way. So I also do have smart devices at my home, this Alexa or Siri. And you know, this lady, she's always ready to answer my question, which means that she's always there and listen to me. So I'm also worried about it.
Yeah.
Could you tell me?
So we have a lot of differences in smart commercial buildings and smart homes. So if you have a smart home, maybe you order a sensor from China or from the USA, and maybe it's not so clear what is the data privacy settings and everything. So in Europe and also in Switzerland, we have this DSGVO, the data privacy order. And that is a really good thing because the data is really private here. And I can tell you like an example at a customer. We collect people counting data and it's via camera. And it's the sensor company is Xobis. It's really famous also. You see them at the airports and supermarkets and so on. And they thought also about that. How can we save the privacy of the users? And they make this video stream anonymous. So you don't see the real people, but is counted if there's something goes through. And so we don't collect those user data in our platform. We only collect how many people go through. So your privacy is always ensured or secure.
Without the information about person. You collect only...
Without the information about the persons, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that gives some
But
safety.
it's a sensor company from Switzerland. They have this DSGVO. They have everything they need for the data privacy. And we had other examples where we had sensors from other countries where it's not like that. And that's always a little bit stressful, because then we need to check the sensors if they fulfill these requirements here in Germany, Austria, or Switzerland. And that's not always the case.
So it depends where you are located.
Yeah.
Okay. Björn, intelligent environments come in a variety of types. Smart homes, smart offices, smart hospitals, smart warehouses, and so on. Are there any institutions that need more digitalization? And are there any institutions that should be excluded from digitalization? Something that you would leave as it is?
That's a really tough question. And we have always also customers that want to have this minimalistic lifestyle with technology, because they say the more technology I have, the more problems the technology can cause. And it's, yeah, it's not complete right, but it's not also complete wrong, because the more technology you have, the more connectivity you have, and there can something go wrong, and then you don't have the real data, or it's old data, and all software have bugs, and yeah, it can be a little pain in the ass if it's not tested well, or if you don't have a platform that has a good quality management, or don't have sensors that are tested well, and so on. So I think everyone should decide what they want, but from my point of view, I always would put technology in the building, because it makes the life of the users in the building much more easier when you do that, when it's good technology and it works out. The platform is good, the devices are good. Because you can bring new digital service to your users in the building. For example, before you work in an office, and normally women have always to cold in the office and men have always to warm in the office. And they call the technical service and they say, hey, it's too cold, it's too warm, can you regulate the temperature? If you don't have the technology. If you have technology, you can bring the life values of the comfort, not temperature and humidity, the comfort, in like a diagram where you see it's perfect or it's not perfect, like can bring to the users in an app. And so they see, okay, hey, it's comfortable. Maybe it's too cold for me or it's too warm for me, but the values are totally right, and the temperature is good, so I don't call them. And then you don't call this technical service. The technical service don't waste time with that and can work. And so it's more productive. And you are also more productive because you don't need to call them. That's a very simple thing, but you see how technology works in your daily life then, and it makes your life so much easier. For example, the meeting room, you want to book it from home, or you're in the home office and decide, hey, I want to have a meeting, but I want to have it later here in the office, and you book it from like 10 to 12 in your app. It's very easy to do that. And you order some service, you order maybe some water, or you need a beamer. You book also the beamer because you need it in this place like we have it here today. And so it makes your life easier. And as technology nerd, I always love to bring that technology into that projects. But not everyone is a fan of it, because maybe they had some, in the past, they made some not good experience with technology.
I'd like to ask you about urban planning and development. Many historical buildings can be reshaped because of their cultural significance, but they still need to be modernized. How do you see the future of urban planning in Switzerland with regards to that?
We did some buildings like that, and it's really easy, because with the technology and IoT sensors, which are battery driven, you get the data and put the sensor into the office. You don't need cables. You don't need You don't need to open the walls and lay cables there and have new sensors. So that's really easy. Or for example, in these buildings, it would not be possible to see if the window is open or closed with conventional sensors, because then you need to lay cables and it would not be good. It would not work there because of everything. And now you can put a little IoT sensor with battery driven on it. That works fine, and you see then is the window open or closed. And so you see with this little IoT sensors, battery driven, you're enabled to make a retrofit of these buildings, which were before not possible because of this whole cable things and everything.
So you can use everything, all these smart devices, without rebuilding building in general.
Exactly, and that's the nice thing. So we have many customers who do the retrofit. They have their building management system, but they don't want to spend so much money, but they want to be enabled to have some IoT use cases, and then they buy like a sensor for 200 Swiss francs or euros, which collect the indoor environment quality, like also sound, temperature, humidity, CO2 level, and so on, put it in the office, and they have now the data and can optimize the building management system with it. So it's easy with this IoT sensors. And Switzerland is really on point with that, because here is IoT is a big topic, and many people use it here, or many projects use it here.
So there are many benefits of smart building for people. What about our pets? Additionally, there are so many pet-friendly offices around the world, including yours, as far as I understand. So are there any special things for Alistair, your Chief Happiness Officer at Eliona, finds especially useful?
I don't think so. There's a funny story. So years ago, dogs were not allowed at our office or company. So and I adopted Alistair, my dog, and it was a huge one. Now it has like 70 kilograms. Yeah, and so I thought I want to spend more time with him and don't let it home, and want to take him into the office or to the office. And yeah, they were not allowed. And so we sometimes hide him behind my desk and seat and brought him with me. And more people, of course, saw him. And in the end, our boss said, yeah, it's okay, you can bring him. He's a nice dog. So, but sadly, I don't think there's something technology he could profit from technology in our building. But I think when you're enabled to or allowed to bring your pets or your dogs into the office, it is not only a good thing for you, it's also a good thing against stress. So we have always tough projects or tough developments and a lot of stress. And the dogs, or my dog, really recognize that and come to you and wants to be cuddled, not only from me, also from the other employees. And you see immediately how the stress get a little bit calmed down. And I really love that. So, yeah.
Does he participate at any meetings?
Only remote.
Okay, cool. What about plants? How do plants fit in with the concept of smart houses? They definitely contribute to eco-friendly lifestyles, but is there anything else worth mentioning?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have also a partner who, the main concept of this company is to bring plants to the office so that reduces the CO2 level. Yeah, in the office, so that they don't need the energy to bring more ventilation or air into that office. And they care for the plants, and you don't need to do anything. And it's like a monthly subscription. And I really like that concept because, we use nature to do something which we done before with automation, with building automation. And if you think about it, it's a really clever concept. And of course, plants, that, reduce the CO2 level, and that's totally perfect, especially in an office where many people sit.
Okay, Björn, if you had to highlight the single coolest feature of a modern smart building, what would it be? And also, is there anything that hasn't been implemented yet that you'd like to see become a reality in the future?
Yeah, I would say for me the most or the best feature is the data democratization, so that you enable all the people in the to get insights into the data. for example, facility manager, get insights into the data which desks are occupied for the cleaning. A normal user like a nurse in a hospital get insights into the data. Where's the medical device when you have this asset tracking use case? Where's the medical device? You don't need to search for it. You really know in the app it's there. You can book it and go there. And this data democratization is really, really important, I think, because the people want to interrogate with the infrastructure. And you need those kind of software systems who enable the people. And Eliona, for example, is such a kind of software system. So that is, for me, the best feature. And there are plenty of things which are not implemented yet also in the smart building world. And yeah, I'm really looking curious to the future. And I really love what it goes in the moment with the technology, also with the smart building and smart infrastructure world, because it's so interesting. It's so interesting to use that technology, also this artificial intelligence, for the benefit of the people in buildings. And we will see a lot of things happen with these large language models in the future. I'm really sure. Also, when you see what Microsoft does with the large language models and the Copilot, also when you see what the real estate core, that's an ontology where you can build up digital twins for buildings, what they do at the moment and how many other software systems implement that real estate core. So yeah, that will be really great. We are looking into a really great future, I think, with this kind of technology.
You know, I believe that we are somewhere on a stage, same as when electricity created. Mm-hmm. So something like would show up and we would be very amazed about it. Yeah. In the nearest future, yeah. I believe.
Absolutely. And if you look at not only the large language model, also the robotics, what Tesla now does with the Prime, that's amazing how fast that goes now. And then imagine you have like a roboter with this large language model and trained 5 years in the future, a little bit better, everything. That would be amazing what you can do then.
Björn, smart homes are just an example of how something may be digitalized. But what do you think about the digitalization of day-to-day life in general? We have long gone digital in many areas. Take communication, for instance. I guess many people spend more time with their friends, for example, online, than in person. So smart buildings have just added to this picture, making residents even more digitally dependent. Still, I want to stay optimistic and ask, could you highlight the most important benefits of digitalization in general?
So digitalization in the smart commercial buildings or smart homes makes your life easier. And that's the biggest benefit, when it makes your life easier. But I'm really pessimistic about social media, because I think that makes your life not
easier.
Not easier. Because you see, you spend so much time on the social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and so on. You watch some videos someone produce, like it's 1 minute video, and you scroll to the next and scroll to the next. And I really don't like that. Because that is not what makes your life easier. That is what makes your life more hard. You see a lot of nice cars, nice travel, nice places all over the world, and you want to do that. And I think it's a wrong motivation. And I really don't like social media. So from that kind of technology, I don't like it. But from the other side, to make your life easier in the smart building technology or in your everyday work, then that's totally perfect. But you see, it's totally different difference between those two kind of things.
Are there any red lines we shouldn't cross when digitalizing our everyday lives?
The red line for me is always when it harms people. So, you know, social media now harms people. At the moment, often so. And so we should do something against that. Also, when children are on social media, only looking in the mobile phone and don't go outside, play like we did when we were young, and that harms people, and we should do something against that. If there's some technology or artificial intelligence in the smart commercial building world which could harm you, then we need to do something. And also in Europe, they had this laws about artificial intelligence, which comes now into the game. And I think that's a really good thing. So to get boundaries for those kind of things so that no one is harmed. But they should do it also with social media.
You know, one day kids told me, Father, I want to buy this thing, this product, etc. So, and I told him, okay, let's go. Here is a lot of malls close to our home, and my son told me, like, what is the reason to go there? I mean, everything is online right now. I can just push the button on my phone and just order it, and the guy would come in a couple of minutes and everything would be delivered. So there is no reason to go. So even our kids, they become more and more digital nowadays. We even don't think about this digital process because we live our life, they live there, and they are even more follow this digital process than we are. So
exactly, and that could be not so bright future if you imagine you're a young man or person or woman grow up and only staying at home, having everything at home, going into this virtual reality, then they're meeting your friends. I don't think we are, as humans, are capable of doing that or should do that because we are social people and we should meet us live, and we have a lot of fun when we meet us live and talking. So like we did, we don't see us often, but when we meet us live, it's totally different and it's always a really great experience. And that's what I think. So we must be really careful with that kind of future and technology there, I think.
My next question is a bit more personal. You're deeply immersed in the digital world, which is natural for an expert like you. But sometimes feel you need to take a break from the connection environment, technology and smart devices. Would you recharge somewhere in the forest, for example, taking a walk and enjoying the sound of birds singing, or spending a weekend at home reading a paper book or doing something that old school? In general, in your opinion, should people seek some balance between the two worlds, even now when we cannot ignore technology anymore?
Yeah, for me it's really, really important. So I spend my weekends often with my dog hiking in the nature. And so it's very, very awesome to living in Switzerland because here are many really nice places. And so last weekend I was on a really famous spot. It was in 2015 when National Geographic put a picture of this spot. It's the Escher Wildkirchli. It's a famous restaurant in the mountains. Put on the paper, and then the tourists came and arrived there because it was so famous in the world. And we hiked there, and it was awesome. And I really need that to calm down. When you see the nature here and go for a hike, it's so beautiful because you relax. You get this inner peace, and you need that inner peace because, as I mentioned, so in the project world, you know that by yourself, you have a lot of calls, remote meetings with customers. Some customers maybe are happy with the platform. Some customers maybe are not so happy with the platform. So you always need your energy level high because of that. And the best thing to get this energy level high here in Switzerland for me is to hike and go in the nature.
Thank you very much for your answers. I have some quick fire questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Björn, working from smart office or smart home?
Always smart office. I don't work in the home office because I want to be with my employees, and I need that to switch between private mode, so at home and the work.
Same here, only at office. So robotic automation, AI, or human oversight in manufacturing?
AI.
AI. Customization or standardization in future smart facilities?
That's a difficult question because all of our customers want customization, flexibility. But as a product owner, I need to bring a product which is scalable to those. So I am always between bringing a product, but make it as flexible so that the customers can do their customization.
Disruptive innovation or incremental progress?
Disruptive.
An e-reader or a paper book?
E-reader.
Okay. Cost efficiency or comfort for residents?
The customer want cost efficiency, and so we need to focus on that.
Okay. Rules, and again rules, or creativity and freedom?
Bringing the best of both worlds. So it doesn't work without rules and structure also in the development team, but you need to enable the creativity from the developers because you hire them because they are really experienced and they should bring their experience to you. So it's a mix between them. Find the right thing between structure and rules and also give them space for creativity.
Biometrics or traditional key access?
Biometrics. I have a company or a system at home with the fingerprint, and it's called Nuki. It's a company here, and it's really awesome.
Government initiatives or market demand?
We have both. So we have the market demand for the technology and so on, but we need also the government behind us because often in Switzerland, these processes work only with this structured planning from the government. So you need both. But of course, for us, market demand is very important.
When did you get your first tattoo?
With 21.
2001?
No, with 21, when I was 21.
When you was 21. Okay.
A long time ago.
What's your best bench press?
180 kilos.
180?
Yeah.
I'm not far away. I'm actually 160.
Very good.
BMW or Mercedes-Benz?
Mercedes. So when I was young, my father always wanted to buy a Mercedes, and so they had not so much the money to do that. And so I was always really into Mercedes-Benz, and now I have some, and that's really awesome, and I feel always really, really appreciated to be able to own such nice cars.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Bjorn. That was awesome. That was awesome interview. Thanks for your answers.
Thank you very much. We know us now many years, and it's always awesome to have you here in Switzerland. Thank you very much, Valentin.
Thank you. See you soon.